It's one of the best podcasts ever. Ever. Top 5 dead or alive.
Welcome to Pod Caviar. I'm your host, Tony, coming at you live from the Empire of Caviar Studios in Los Angeles, California. What y'all been up to? Huh? I think I'm going to make Pod Caviar a winter-only podcast because I be having too much fun when it comes to in the summer, you know? I be having too much fun, bruh. Nah, for real, my schedule will be packed, and I don't want everybody to feel like I've given up on the podcast when I haven't. It's busy. It's busy, man. You know, if I didn't have, once I retire, right? Once I retire, I'll have more than enough time to dedicate to all of these things, especially Pod Caviar. The not the problem, but the difference between creating for Pod Caviar as opposed to Game Caviar or Shirt Caviar is that a lot of that stuff, Shirt Caviar, can be done on my phone. It makes it completely mobile. I can just make a design and have it on the website within 30 minutes. And with Game Caviar, Twitch TV / not having it. With Game Caviar, I can hop on the PlayStation 5 and be on Twitch in less than a minute. So with podcasting, if I'm not just going off of, if I'm not just hitting record and talking, if I have to do mad research, like we did that, what was that? Season 2, Season 3, where we did the Trail of Terror. That was a lot of, research that went into each and every episode, and that takes a lot of time. So I know we do a lot of zany stuff on Pod Caviar. I know it's crazy. I know it's wild. It's all over the place. But when it's time to have a serious episode where we talk about something historical and we break it down, then it's time consuming. So I know. But this is the season 7 finale, and it's going to get deep. But first of all, let me give a shout out to the One Gram Army podcast. You get that podcast wherever you get your podcast from. Graham is doing amazing things with his podcast, and it's taken off, right? And you got 2 ears, so we got 2 podcasts. The other one being this one right here, Pod Caviar, the most widely available podcast in the world. Back in your ear, back in your earlobes, your eardrums, your ear canals. That's what I wanted. The canals. I want the canals. All right. Yeah, we back at it. And that's how it is, you know. I got Red Zone on in the background, and my fantasy team, I have 2 fantasy teams this year. They're both combined 0-8, and it looks like they're both going to be 0-9. I don't know what it is, but I'm happy to be here. I love fantasy, so I'm not complaining. Fantasy basketball is starting up next week, and I got my team ready to go. Forgot about the draft. So I'm going to roll with an auto-drafted team. It is what it is. I don't know. I got James Harden, so I don't know how happy I am about that. Never really been I mean, he's cool. He's a good player, so I'm just being a baby because I missed my draft. But along with the second part of season 7, the theme has been motivation, self-motivation, going to therapy, taking accountability, being a better person in general. Today, for the season finale, I'm going to go down a hypothetical rabbit hole, and we're going to ask a bunch of questions about religion, and it's going to end up in I just want you to understand that everything that we say on this podcast, it's not really set in stone, especially when we get into religion or the universe, spirituality versus religion or religious beliefs. A lot of things are up to interpretation of each person. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And have an open mind. So it is what? Almost 6 minutes. Let's do this. 6 minutes right now. Have an open mind and let's get into it. What we want to talk about today is religion versus spirituality. Like I said, you gotta get it. You got to get it. You got to get open. You got to open your mind and understand what question do you have when it comes to religion? What religion are you? Okay, let's say you're a religion. Let's say you follow a religion. This religion has a God. Whether it be Christianity, Islam, hell, Pastafarian for all I care. I don't give a shit. Whatever religion you believe in. How do you think that your religion is different or better than what the hell? Oh man, what is that? How do you think your religion is better than being spiritual? Do you think that, or if you do you think your religion is better than another religion, or do you think that having religion is way better than spirituality? Is it because in a religion you have one known God, one all-powerful being? Is that what it makes it better? Is it? And I'm not telling you to not be religious. I'm not telling you to not be spiritual. Continue doing what you're doing. Obviously, you have the right decision, right? Because why else would you fall into it 100%? Why else would you go to church every Sunday? Why else would you give your money for tithes every chance you get, right? It's because you buy into it 100%. So you feel it through your veins, floating through your veins, as the Ultimate Warrior once said, right? And your soul and everything. It works, right? That is no good. It works, right? So you sit down and you get down and you pray and you talk to God and you just expect him to hear everything that you say. Not just you, but all known beings that he created in the known universe, the entire universe. Okay? All at once, all powerful, all knowing, all seeing, all the time, 24/7, like 7-Eleven, right? And you believe this. You have to understand that one time, religion is very strong, but it is very fragile because we are on Earth as humans. We have not been contacted by any other civilization in the known universe that we know of. We can have the grainy pictures and videos of aliens all we want, but in reality, there's not been a verified source or event that aliens have come down to this planet. What if they get here and they say, "What's God?" Are we going to convert them? Now, understand, if they're advanced enough to get to where they're at, to where we're at, there's no other planet in our solar system that has life on it. They're not coming from Mercury, right down the street. They're not coming from Venus around the corner. They're not coming from Jupiter down the block. They ain't coming from Neptune across the way. Okay? They're coming way outside of everything that we know because we don't know of any intelligent life. It's just us. So if they get here and they know nothing of a God or nothing of a religion, but they have become so advanced, then what makes your religion, does your religion stay strong? Does it stay solid? Even in the face of of what is it? Probability or logic. You still okay. All right. So aliens come here. They say, "What's God?" What's your answer? What are you going to say? Of course, the answer is, "I'm going to tell them about God. Glory to God." And I'm okay. Cool. I grew up. My grandmother taught me all about God. Okay? Don't jump down my throat. We're just having a discussion, and I told you, it's all hypothetical. All right? I'm not telling you not to tell them about God. By all means, go ahead. But as you sit here and listen to this podcast episode right now with the same open mind, keep it when you talk to them, because they might tell you that you're wrong. They might prove to you that you're wrong. What then? What are you going to do then? If they come here and say, "What's God?" followed by, "No, he doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. Here's proof." I mean, what do you do? What do you do? At that point, you've been following a religion your whole entire life, and it made you into the person that you are. But because hypothetical aliens show up to Earth and tell you that your God doesn't exist and that your religion, it's fake, it's logically incapable and impossible, are you going to get rid of everything that you accomplished when you followed the religion? Are you still going to follow it as much as you did before? What's the next? What is it? What is it? What is the next step? You call me crazy all you want. I feel like we are on the eve of aliens making contact with us. And it's going to change a lot of things for everyone. Day-to-day activities may be the same. Everybody's going to want to give the aliens their attention, of course. It's going to be like District 9 in the beginning. Remember that? Go watch District 9, right? They're going to, I feel like ultimately we're just going to have new neighbors. There's going to be a lot to learn. I don't think it's going to be, unless they come here on some, "We want your water." But even then, see, the thing is, let me just sidetrack a little bit. The thing about the "we want water" is that for me, if you have enough technology to come out of our solar system, out of our galaxy, you travel all across space through however means, right? You don't know how to make water? We have the recipe. We can just teach you how to do it yourself, right? So I know Hollywood is like, "Well, these aliens are here and they want our water, so they're going to take over our planet." But in reality, it's like, "Hey, man, here's the recipe. Here's how you make it. It's all good. You ain't got to kill us over water." But I think they're just going to come here and be like, "Hey, we found you. And what's up?" And back on subject, what are you going to do if you meet with, just say you were able to sit down with these aliens in a room, one-on-one, and they ask you, "What's that cross? What's that Bible? What is that book with the thin gold-lined pages? Who's King James? What's a testament? What's a New Testament? What's an Old Testament?" If they sit down in a room and look right across from you and they say, "No, your religion is not real. Logically, it cannot happen." For every religion, for any religion, the basics of religion cannot exist because here's why. And they'll go through and meticulously, page by page, debunk the Bible right in front of you. What would you do? What would you do? Are you going to pray to God? You're going to look up and say, God, these beings from another planet, they say that you don't exist. Show yourself. And what if that silence that you just heard is his answer? Is it meant to be? What is the lesson there? If at any point in time that would be the time for God to be like, oh no, I'm real. Here I am. Right? Right? Am I tripping? Because he hadn't shown up for slavery. He hadn't shown up for famine, war. He hadn't shown up for rape, incest, pedophilia, AIDS, COVID. He didn't show up for anything else, right? There was no event, and I don't mean vaccines and condoms and like laws and stuff like that. And I mean literally showed up and be like, hey man, this ain't how it's supposed to be. Let these people go. Hey, now I know Moses. I know Exodus. I understand that story in the Bible. I also understand green eggs and ham, that story in the book, right? Open minds. We're having a discussion. I'm not criticizing your religion. Open minds. Open minds, okay? What if? Where? What if? Huh? So if he doesn't show up, what's the reason? What would be the reason? Would it be to have what? So you can convert the aliens that just literally proved that what you said, your religion, it can't exist. It won't. It doesn't because it cannot. What's the next move? So they come here, you sit down with them, you tell them about your religion, they tell you that it's not true and that it cannot exist. You drop down on your knees, you look up to the sky, you pray to God to show himself, to prove that he's real, but the aliens, a lot of people don't believe aliens are real. But if they show up and are proven to be real, but your God doesn't, then what does that mean? And what are you going to do in response to that? What is your next move? I've always said religion is a stepping stone to spirituality because it allows us to believe in something big. It allows us to have these basic set of morals, the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. Okay, good. Okay. And when I was a kid, I was in church. Grew up Baptist, became an adult, converted to Catholicism. So I know a thing or two when it comes down to religion. I mean, just pulling this out of my ass. And I'm not just trying to be some smart mouthed motherfucker with a podcast that's just throwing your religion back in your face. I want you to believe in something bigger, especially if it makes you into a better person. That's great. Even if you later on down the line find out that what you believed in, the thing that helped you so much as a person, was not real. Because if you find out that it's not, you went through that event, does that not make you a good person anymore? Do you stop being a good person? Do you stop believing in the things that the religion led you to believe, even the good parts? What will change in your life? Would you stop going to church? Would churches close? Would there still be people that believe? Of course. There's always going to be people that believe. And I don't know the answers for sure I'm just a guy in a room talking to a microphone, recording a podcast. But I'm here to tell you that all of us will find out one day. One day, all of your answers will be answered. All of your questions will be answered. Wow. One day, all of your questions will be answered. One day, we will all find out what's right and what's wrong, whether one religion is right or one was wrong, or whether they're all wrong, whether they're all right, whether they're good, whether they're bad, whether we should be following one and not following the other, which one is right. One day, we will all meet God. But what if you meet God and God's not what you were told he was? What if you wake up one day and you see God and he's not an all-powerful being? What if he's small like an elf and quite insignificant? You'll say, God, you're God? You're God? Why are you so small and insignificant? What if one day you'll meet God and you'll say, why are you so small and insignificant? And he looks at you and he says, well, nobody expects me to be, and turns around and walks off. What will you understand after that interaction? Everything. You'll understand everything. Hypothetically, if you meet God and he's small and insignificant, how can he take care of your prayers and everyone else's prayers? How can he stop everything that's going on in this world if he was just the creator and not the controller? What if God is God is the reason why the Big Bang happened, but everything after that was kind of out of his control? What if one day he checked in on Earth and saw everything was going bad, so he sent his son down here and his son ultimately got killed? What would you do? Think about a time in your life where you made one decision and it started a chain of events that was out of your control and you couldn't do anything except for step back and watch it. What would you do? How would that change your outlook on religion? If you fall over right now, flatline, boom, you're dead. You wake up in a room with God and you see exactly what I just described. And what would you do if the aliens came down and told you the same thing? There's no way possible one powerful being would let all this happen to his own creation. What would you do when you meet God and God's not the God you were told he was? What would you do? But the religion that you grew up in and that you believed in 100%, 110%, fucking 150%, let's go. That religion that you dove into head first made you into a great person with great morals and great values, but you found out it was all fake. Does all of what you did that was good when you believed in it go away, or do you continue going? How would your religion change if you found out that it didn't exist? And that the God that you prayed to didn't hear your prayers? I mean, he couldn't do anything for you. What if your God was just a catalyst for everything and not the controller of everything? What would you do? What would you do? Think about that in the off season, because I don't think I can say anything else about that. I think I got the message across, right? If that's what you believe in and it made you a better person, then most people are going to be like, I'm still going to be the same person. I don't really give a shit. Some people are going to jump off a fucking building. Some people are going to blow their brains out. Some people are going to really go ape shit over this. Religion, historically speaking, has caused humans to do the worst and the best. There's really no in between, right? Oh, you know what? I think I know what happened. No, that's not right. Nope. I'm having some technical issues right here. I hope it didn't. I hope everything is still recording well. But we got about 5 minutes left. I want to thank everybody for your support this entire season. I know this has been the longest season of Podcast VR by time, not by episodes. But we are doing great. Everything is going well. The Empire of Caviar is firing on all cylinders, and we will be back for season 8. I don't know when. I'll let everybody know it. It's going to be during the winter, so I might take a month or so off, or I might just start in the beginning of the year and then just go from there. And I'll have, man, I'm thinking of switching up the format a little bit, because even on the off season, we can still pump out creations and content and like have these episodes, especially if something big happens, especially in LA. Let's say we have let's say we have an earthquake. Let's say we have an earthquake. Hey, listen, I felt the earthquake the other day. It was like a 2.2, really weak. If I was anywhere else, I probably wouldn't even have felt it. But I was like right down the street from the epicenter, and it was like, what was that? And then your phone goes off. You're like, oh, it's an earthquake. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, thank you for all the support. As always, head to twitch.tv/nothavingit for game caviar content. Go to shirtcaviar.com for shirt caviar content. We just released the Halloween drop, and remember to use code OGA for 10% off your order at shirtcaviar.com. That OGA stands for the 1 Gram Army Podcast. You can find Graham at the 1 Gram Army Podcast on pretty much damn near everything. He's the one that kept he did social media right. He's got one @ for damn near everything. Me, I'm kind of all over the place. I've consolidated it a lot, but I feel like there's like, especially on Twitter, I don't know, but I'm on Twitter at LA Baltimore. Yeah, it was at Not Having It, but Twitter got mad and nuked my account, so I got to start all over again. But you can also find me on Instagram at pod_caviar and shirt_caviar for those of you who love the shirts and the slides and the hoodies and the sweatshirts and everything Shirt Caviar has to offer. I think I just put like a fucking trucker hat on there. It's weird, man, you know, but I love the store. The ultimate goal when I retire and have enough time, I'll get home, you know, I'll wake up and I'll dedicate the whole day to the brand, and we can have a Shirt Caviar. We can have a Shirt Caviar brick and mortar store. We can have like, I want a studio. I want a legit studio where we could do all of these things within one building, and it's just that, right? So big things are coming up. We are in the right spot. We are in LA. This is the right city to make magic happen, and we are on the cusp of something great here in the Empire of Caviar. And it's going to be it's going to be an amazing time when it happens. When everything pops off, everybody will know. And everybody's always like, yo, you got it, man. You got the momentum. The content is right. Everybody loves the shirts, the podcast. We've been spreading gasoline this whole time, and it's time for the spark, and the spark is on the way. It's like the Olympic torch coming from goddamn Athens, Greece, all the way to wherever the fuck it is, right? So yeah, I'll see you in the off season. We're gonna have fun regardless. I'm never gonna leave you hanging. Just go to pod_caviar on Instagram. I post memes on there all the time in between episodes, so it's not like a dead account, you feel me, where I just like every 1,000 years, like a volcano, I start rumbling and then I erupt. No, it's active. The Empire of Caviar is very active on all social media platforms, so get familiar if you're not. And I'll see you in season 8. I will see you definitely in season 8. Thank you for everything. Peace. Bye.